Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages in those readings as well. Okay, Taurus, let's see. What's the energy around the week ahead here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Taurus? Oh, between two worlds in reverse. That's interesting. Aries just got that. Milk and honey in reverse. Okay, anything else here for Taurus? Serendipity in reverse. Oh, Taurus. Okay. So I feel like you are questioning a lot of things this week, or you're questioning things right now. You see that Y card on the bottom of the deck. I think you're trying to understand motivation. You're trying to understand yourself. And I think you're also trying to understand why things aren't going the way you want them to go. You've got this between two worlds with this milk and honey and serendipity in reverse, which tells me that your mindset right now, Taurus, is focused on things aren't happening the way I want them to happen. I'm not reaching my ultimate path that I desire, and I feel like I have no luck. You know, it's interesting. It feels like this is what is on your mind, and you're being guided to look at that. You're being guided to be mindful about what's on your mind right now and what your focus is. Where are you focusing? I feel like right now you're focusing on the challenges. You're focusing on outcomes that don't match what you desire, and you're attracting more of those outcomes as a result. I know people don't love hearing that. They don't like to hear that their, thoughts and emotions are actually the things that send out energy and are those sort of magnetic frequencies that bring in things that are in alignment to what we think and feel. But that is the belief around this sort of concept of life that we have right now, is this idea that we attract things through energy, and that your thoughts and emotions are the things that send out that energy, and that is what brings in more of what you focus on. So right now it feels like you're focusing on obstacles and outcomes and this lack of it's a lack perspective. It's focusing on what's missing instead of what's present. And as a result, you're not open. There's no space. You need to create some space here for receiving, like there's too much going on in your thought process right now that's not leaving enough space open for you to receive a new perspective. You've almost got to consciously make room here, because right now your focus is purely on what's missing. And I think that is what's causing this feeling for you, and you're almost missing some signs. I think there's always signs guiding us to look at things in a different way so that we can sort of appreciate a situation from many different perspectives. But right now you're only looking at things from the perspective of what's missing. It's a lack mindset. And things aren't moving the way you want them to move. So yeah, you're feeling really down about that. You're feeling defeated. You're feeling like you don't want to get up and try again because your focus is on what's missing and what's not going right in your mind. I almost feel like saying to you, start focusing on what inspires you instead of the outcome. Because by focusing on the outcome only, it's like you're just feeling so disappointed because you're thinking that the what's happening now is a reflection of what will keep happening. And it's like you don't realize that you're part of that cycle repeating itself by only focusing on what's missing instead of feeling motivated to focus on what is inspiring to you. We see this another 10 here for you, 10 of Wands. So it's like you're focusing on the chore of having to move these wands from one side of the field to the other instead of focusing on the harvest you're about to have. The 10 of Wands is exhausting for sure, but it also can talk about this idea that you're about to receive your harvest that you've been working so hard for. And so instead of focusing on the fact that it's been challenging to to work towards it, focus on the idea of the harvest and that you're going to yield results here instead of focusing on what's missing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. It's focusing on what's missing is going to keep you down. Focusing on the idea of producing things because you feel creative and passionate towards them and you're doing what resonates for you, that has a whole other energy associated with it. And I feel like that's the one you're being guided to focus on, to sort of look at why you're focusing on just what's not happening instead of focusing on what is happening. You know? Yeah, your energy is not where it needs to be. The chariot can't move when we focus on lack. It's not enough fuel. Do you know what I mean? Like, the chariot moves through your will. And if right now your will is focused on what's missing, that's not enough gas for the chariot to move. That's not enough for you to propel yourself forward. You feel stuck. And I think you feel stuck because you're focusing on the things that are making you feel stuck. You know? I feel like you're saying to yourself, I'll never and I'll always. Like you're using these statements that sort of define your future circumstance based on the present outcomes that you're seeing. And as a result, you're feeling a little bit like this King of Wands in reverse, where you're getting frustrated. You might be a little bit like emotionally even sort of explosive because you're very ambitious, but you're feeling like you're stuck. So when we're ambitious and we're stuck, it can be very frustrating. I feel like this is a time where you really need to shift your mindset and your focus. Your will and your mindset need an overhaul here. You need to look at this from a different perspective to try to understand your motivations in a different way. And what motivates you? Does it motivate you to think about lack or opportunity? You know, where's your focus, Taurus? Yeah, you're overthinking things to the point where you've put yourself in a fear mode. That idea of lack has put you in a moment of fear, and I think you're comparing yourself to others. You're comparing yourself to others, and that's also freaking you out. And you're saying, well, how come they're successful and I'm not? And it's lowering your energy. It's lowering your frequency, like we talked about in the beginning. These ideas of thoughts and emotions being the things that send out our energy. That's the way we do it. Your energy right now is focused on sort of comparing yourself to others and feeling a lack, that you're at a loss, you're at a lack, and it's bumming you out. It's bumming you out to be so focused on. It almost feels like you're focused on needing to be successful, needing to have rewards, needing to be acknowledged, needing to be recognized. I feel like you're trying to achieve something and you look around yourself and you see other people achieving it and you're like, why aren't I achieving it? And it's like you think you're having this misfortunate sort of situation where things again feel stuck. They're not moving. You're not in flow right now. You're working against yourself. I'm sorry, Taurus. I know people hate hearing that, but you're working against yourself. You need to shift internally to feel a shift externally. And then you'll see something. This is interesting. Visualizing and sort of being in tune with what it is you want to embody in the future, but being in tune with it and embodying it now is sort of the guidance I feel like you're receiving with that Three of Wands. That, you know, right now your ego has got you in chains. The bottom of the deck is the Devil in reverse, where you might be unable to see a different way for yourself. The focus being on the lack of things has got you in chains. And I think that's why we're seeing this Y card. You're being guided to really examine what you're holding as a conscious frequency right now. Where is your focus? Where's your intention? What are you focusing on? right? And if it's focusing just on an outcome that you're sort of comparing yourself to someone else or many other people, you're sort of giving your power away. You kind of need to break those chains, because it's like you don't see the role you have in this energetically. You have a role in what's going on here. And that's the part I feel like people don't like to hear. But it's actually kind of an interesting thing, because if you have a part to play in it, then you have a part to play in its sort of reversal. Like if you're playing a role in how things are happening now, that's actually a piece of good news, because that means that there is something you have control over here that could shift things. You know what I mean? There is something you do have control over, and I feel like it's your mindset and where you put your focus. Your mindset and your focus are within your control. Okay? And it's interesting, because I feel like that's all that's missing here. That it's not that you're unlucky. It's not that others are better than you. I feel like that's the game that you're playing with your ego right now. That idea that you're unlucky, other people are better at this than you are, and people don't think you're valuable or worthy. It's like you're you're lowering your own frequency with these ideas, and you're attracting more opportunities that give you evidence towards where your focus is. So you have to change your focus, Taurus. You've got to shift your focus if you want to see different results, and your mindset too. So your focus and your mindset, that's what you've got to sort of be really mindful about, what's happening there. And how can you reverse this? Yeah, this is very interesting, Taurus. I hope I didn't trigger anybody, but you've got to have a look at this week. If this resonates for you, if you've sort of been feeling that comparative energy, and you've been catching yourself saying, well, how come they have that and I don't? And how come they're successful and I'm not? And why do I feel defeated? And like I'm unlucky, and that things aren't moving forward? How come I feel stuck? These questions have answers that are rooted in your mindset and your focus. And I feel like if you spend some time exploring that, you're going to see a different outcome for yourself. You'll find that there will be celebration, and that you'll find that there will be moments where you are able to see past lack. You just have to shift your mindset. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. I appreciate your support so much, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, my friends. I'm sending you so much love and light.